Welcome back to Historic Coin Empire, the channel where we dive deep into the hidden stories behind everyday coins and uncover how something as small as a penny can turn into a multimillion-dollar treasure. And today we are exploring one of the most fascinating modern coin legends circulating among collectors, the story of a 2012 D. Lincoln 1 cent that is rumored to be worth an astonishing $6 million because of rare mint errors, striking mistakes, and extraordinary production. Anomalies that combine to create a coin unlike any other, and while billions of pennies were produced in 2012 at the Denver facility of the United States Mint, only an incredibly rare and unique example possessing a dramatic combination of errors could ever approach such a jaw-dropping valuation, making this both a lesson in minting science and a reminder that extraordinary treasures can hide in plain sight. To understand how a 2012 D cent could possibly reach $6 million, we first need to understand the coin itself, because by 2012 the Lincoln cent featured the modern Union Shield reverse design introduced in 2010, replacing the long-running Lincoln Memorial design, while still retaining the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a portrait that has appeared on the cent since 1909 and remains one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. And these coins were struck on copper-plated zinc planchets weighing approximately 2.5 grams, with a thin outer copper layer bonded to a zinc core, a composition that has been standard for decades, but one that also creates opportunities for unusual mint errors, ranging from plating defects to off-metal strikes. In a typical year, the Denver Mint produces hundreds of millions or even billions of cents, meaning that an ordinary 2012 D penny found in circulation is worth exactly 1 cent. Yet numismatic history has shown that even in years of massive production, extraordinary errors can occur, and when multiple rare anomalies converge in a single specimen, the result can be a coin so unique that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums to acquire it. One of the most powerful value drivers in modern coin collecting is the double die error, and while minor machine doubling is common and adds little value, a true double die obverse created during the die hubbing process can dramatically increase desirability. And imagine a 2012 D cent exhibiting bold, unmistakable hub doubling in the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2012, with clear separation lines visible to the naked eye, thickened letters, and a noticeable secondary image effect. Such a discovery would immediately spark intense interest, particularly if no other examples were known from the same die pairing, effectively making it a new and significant variety within the Lincoln cent series. Now consider the possibility that this double die feature is not the only anomaly, but that the same coin was struck on a wrong planchet, perhaps a blank intended for another denomination or even a foreign coin, resulting in a difference in weight, color, or diameter. And wrong planchet errors are among the most visually dramatic mint mistakes because they create coins that look fundamentally different from what collectors expect. And if a 2012 D cent were struck on a silver-colored dime planchet, for example, it would immediately stand out, and if the strike were strong enough to show full design details including the D mint mark, the coin would represent a spectacular crossover error. And when such a dramatic off-metal strike is combined with bold hub doubling, the rarity multiplies exponentially. Another possibility lies in experimental or transitional metal errors, because although no official composition change occurred in 2012, the Mint has historically tested alternative metals and processes, and if a 2012 D cent were discovered to contain an unusual alloy confirmed through laboratory analysis, perhaps heavier or lighter than the standard 2.5 grams, and if documentation suggested it originated from an experimental batch or a mistakenly mixed planchet supply, the coin would immediately become a focal point of numismatic debate and likely command extraordinary auction interest. Off-center strikes are another visually stunning error type, and a coin struck significantly off-center while retaining a fully visible date and mint mark can already command substantial premiums. But imagine a 2012 D cent struck 50% off-center, showing a dramatic crescent of blank planchet on one side, combined with a broad strike where the collar failed to contain the metal, causing the coin to expand beyond its normal diameter, and then layered with bold double die features. The cumulative effect would create a coin so visually striking and so technically rare that it would be virtually impossible to duplicate. Die breaks and retained cuds further add to the potential uniqueness, because when a portion of the die cracks and breaks away, it leaves raised metal blobs or missing rim segments on the coin, and while small die cracks are common, a massive retained cud that intrudes deeply into Lincoln's portrait or distorts the Union Shield could create a dramatic and one-of-a-kind appearance, especially if the cud intersects with doubled lettering or other anomalies. Rotational errors also enhance collectability, as modern coins are expected to have precise alignment between obverse and reverse, and a significant rotation of 90 or 180 degrees would already be unusual, but when paired with major striking and composition errors, it becomes yet another layer contributing to an extraordinary valuation. The condition of the coin plays a crucial role in determining whether it could reach $6 million, because even the rarest error achieves its highest price when preserved in pristine mint state condition. And if a 2012 cent with multiple dramatic errors were graded at the top levels such as MS69 or even MS70 by a respected grading service, the combination of near-perfect preservation and unmatched rarity would dramatically increase its appeal to elite collectors seeking trophy pieces. Provenance adds additional power to valuation, because if the coin were discovered in an original mint-sealed bag, traced back to a Denver Mint employee, or previously owned by a well-known collector with documented records, the established history would increase buyer confidence and potentially fuel competitive bidding at major auctions. The Lincoln Cent series has one of the largest collector bases in American numismatics, and any newly discovered major variety quickly becomes the subject of intense scrutiny, discussion, and demand, particularly in the age of online forums and global auction platforms where information spreads rapidly and collectors from around the world can participate in bidding wars. Clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the blank is missing due to improper punching from the metal strip, can also add to a coin's uniqueness, especially if the clip is large and displays the characteristic metal flow patterns confirming its authenticity, and a 2012 cent with multiple clips combined with other dramatic anomalies would represent an extremely rare convergence of errors. Plating issues specific to copper-plated zinc cents, such as extensive missing plating or dramatic bubbling that exposes the zinc core beneath, can create striking visual contrasts. And while minor plating defects are common, a large-scale and uniform missing copper layer paired with other major mint errors would create a coin that is both visually stunning and technically rare. Weight discrepancies serve as critical evidence in identifying off-metal or wrong planchet strikes, because any significant deviation from the standard 2.5 grams would immediately prompt further analysis. And if testing confirmed a unique alloy composition not consistent with normal production, the coin would likely become the centerpiece of numismatic research and potentially a record-setting auction. Auction dynamics in the modern era allow for worldwide participation, and when a coin is widely publicized as unique or nearly unique, particularly one with a compelling story of discovery and authentication, the resulting competition among wealthy collectors can drive prices to astonishing heights, especially if two determined bidders each see the coin as a once-in-a-lifetime acquisition. The psychology of collecting plays a powerful role, because the idea that a simple penny from 2012 could be worth $6 million captures the imagination and reinforces the belief that hidden treasures still exist in everyday circulation, inspiring collectors to examine their change more carefully and to appreciate the complex processes behind coin production. Ultimately, the legend of the 2012 cent valued at $6 million rests on the extraordinary convergence of multiple rare errors, pristine preservation, verified authenticity, compelling provenance, and intense market demand. And while the vast majority of 2012 pennies will always remain worth only face value, the possibility that a single extraordinary example combining bold double dies, off-metal composition, dramatic off-center striking, major die breaks, rotational misalignment, and flawless condition could exist keeps the hunt alive, embodying the spirit of discovery that defines historic coin empire and reminding us that even in the modern age of advanced minting technology, remarkable mistakes can slip through, turning an ordinary penny into an extraordinary treasure worth millions.